So
Mhm.
just to reiterate, because I haven't recorded earlier, what do you think is a good justification for slaughtering an animal for just like your preference?
Ethical and cultural reasons.
Okay.
Simple.
What are the ethical reasons for slaughtering an animal for your taste pleasure?
Overpopulation, for instance. I used to hunt boar. Hunting boar is pretty nice. You get
Nice in
bacon
what
on the
way?
grill. It's not factory farmed. Um, sure, it bleeds for a second, but after that, it's pretty clean.
Okay, so if I kill you pretty clean, is that okay ethically?
Well, the question is, am I a boar?
No, you're you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's okay for me to kill
So, do
you
you
if
think
you
there's a
bleed just
separation
little,
between me
really
and a
quick.
boar?
Sorry?
Hang on, 1 second. 1 second. I did have a follow-up question though.
Yeah, the question
Is
was.
there a separation between me as a moral agent in your society
Mhm.
or the boar? Or is a boar a philosophical pea zombie, if you will?
Yeah,
Moral zombie.
those are different creatures, but I'm asking what is the
Yeah.
difference? Hold on. What is the difference such that make it okay to kill the boar and not you if it's really quick and humane, like really clean? You bleed for a little bit, but
Well,
then it's done.
the symmetry breaker here is animals, for all intents and purposes, are going to be what I consider not moral agents, right?
Why does that matter?
Versus a
Babies are
human
not moral
participating in
agents. Why does
society.
that matter?
Why does that matter?
Yeah, babies are not moral agents. Is it okay to slaughter babies?
Babies are considered moral agents technically because,
In what
they're
way?
under society's protection. No.
Oh, well, they're societally protected, that's for sure. But in what way are they considered moral agents? Do babies know right from wrong?
Not necessarily,
Yeah,
but I
if
would
you give a
consider them
baby, if
under
you give a baby a
constructive.
gun, is it gonna know not to use the gun on, not to point a gun at its parents?
No.
Yeah, there you go. So babies are not moral agents. So it's okay to slaughter babies, right?
I mean, your reductio doesn't land for a reason.
Was what?
I can tell you that reason.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, simply put, we have constructed social norms.
Mm-hmm.
So if those social norms are constructed, right,
Yeah.
we get to pick and choose what are moral agents and what
Yeah.
falls under protected class.
Well, that doesn't matter.
Right?
Babies are not moral
babies may not
agents.
know right from wrong, but eventually they're going to be a moral agent.
Well,
So
sure.
therefore,
Well,
right,
they're not.
but the boar will never be a moral agent.
Yeah, they're not going to become a moral agent if you kill them really, really early before they get to be moral agents. So they are protected.
Well, abortion's a thing, isn't it?
Sorry?
Disabled people.
Well, abortion is still a thing, is not?
Yeah, well, usually babies are not aborted, right? Like after they're born and stuff, when we actually can call them a baby.
I do have a question. So if you have a
No.
problem
Let's stay on this. No. We're not gonna we're not gonna go into a different place. Right? We're gonna stay on this. You made the claim. Hold on. You made the claim that because animals are not moral agents, it's okay to slaughter them. Babies are not moral agents. Why is it not okay to slaughter babies?
Babies are not moral. I mean, I did basically just describe them as moral agents, technically.
Well,
right?
you describe them as such. That doesn't make them moral agents. If you give a baby a gun, it's not going to know not to shoot its parents.
Yeah, it's going to be exempt.
Yeah, well, moral agency then is not the trait that makes it okay to slaughter somebody. So what's the morally relevant difference between a boar and a baby that makes it okay to slaughter a boar but not a baby?
Under societal norms, it's a constructed thing. Again,
so can societal? Yeah. Hold on. I understand societal norms. Can societal norms be wrong?
Can I answer?
Now that I've asked an actual question, sure. Can societal norms be wrong?
Yes.
Yes. So it's not a good.
Changing.
Awesome. So it's not a good measurement of morality, is it? If they can be wrong, or they can be right.
No, it's the only measurement of morality.
Sorry.
I said no. It's the only measurement of morality, technically.
Well, if they can be wrong, then how can it be like a measurement of morality? If literally societal norms can be
it's not
wrong.
necessarily wrong or right in the traditional sense of getting a binary question, right or wrong, about like, external affairs.
Oh, awesome. If we find a society where it's not a societal norm to not slaughter babies, then it's morally right to slaughter babies, correct?
There's no universal law against it. However, I would have...
Yeah, sure. We're not talking about laws. We're not talking about laws. We're talking about morality. So if we find a society, right, like Sentinel people or something like that, it's a society. Hold on. It's a society where maybe it's like totally not societally protected to not...
question.
Yeah, go on.
I'm asking a clarifying question for a reason. Are you presupposing a moral realism of some sort?
No, I'm a moral anti-realist. I'm just asking you on your morality.
Okay.
If a society, would you be okay on your moral stance if a society doesn't have the moral norms to not slaughter babies, for them to slaughter babies? Are you going to be okay with that? Jesus, takes you a long time to answer this.
If it's my kid in the firing line, no, I'm not going to be fine with it.
Oh, shifting the goalpost, aren't we?
So, yeah, shifting the goalpost, and also, I guess societal norms are not a measurement of morality.
I'm thinking of it in the frame of intuition.
Yeah, so societal norms are not a measurement of morality, are they?
Well, you're putting me in a society that is contrary to my current one.
There you go.
And
so societal norms,
exactly. Things,
so
right?
societal norms are not a good indicator of what is moral and what is not. Because if I plunk you out of your society and plunk you into a different society, you and your child, then your child is fucked. You find that immoral.
Well, we're basically going down to intuitions now, right? So, like, what about your intuitions are superior than mine?
I didn't make the claim that my intuitions are superior than yours.
Well,
I'm just asking. I'm just asking you what morally justifies for you to slaughter a boar but not a baby. Societal norms are not that. You made that claim, but apparently, if societal norms don't exist on that, you still hold on. I'm asking a question. Can you let me finish? I just want to be made very clear. So far, we've done this. I asked you, what is the morally relevant difference? You said moral agent. And when I said babies don't have moral agency, you said, no, it's still not okay to slaughter babies. And then you said societal norms is the difference. But when I said, I'm going to pluck you into a society that doesn't have those norms, you still have a moral issue with it. So what is the morally relevant difference between you and a boar?
Yes, because the symmetry breaker is very much the same as, why wouldn't it kill another person versus a animal, right?
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, what is it?
Different ontologically from maybe a deer, a bear, etc. Right?
What do you mean by different pathologically?
What's different?
Yeah, what do you mean by different pathologically?
The difference is going to be in many things: nervous system, cognition.
Sure.
In many cases, I would argue that it comes down to intuition because of these various factors, right? So, like, let's say a dog is attacking a human. Even if it's my dog, I'm probably going to have to shoot my dog that's about to rip out some kid's throat, right?
Yeah, sure, that's just
it's not about...
So, let me ask, I understood your point. So, let me ask you a question. Hold on. So, you said, so pathology, so nervous system, right? So what's the evidence that a pig's nervous system is different from a human's nervous system?
The very fact that we have higher cognition. I mean, the CNS is different.
No, CNS is the same. We have higher cognition for different reasons. CNS is exactly the same in a pig and a human being. Both are sentient.
Let me look that up.
Yeah, sure.
Are you just running name the trait?
Yeah, I'm trying, but the guy's slippery.
Human central nervous system, CNS, is more developed, particularly in the cerebral cortex.
Okay, cerebral cortex. Okay, I guess the brain is part of CNS. So why does it make it okay to kill a boar? Because its cerebral cortex is less developed.
Again, I listed like several reasons for the boar.
Well, none of them cashed out into it being okay to slaughter that boar. So I don't understand. If a human being would have like underdeveloped cerebral cortex, right? So on the marginal cases, somebody who was born mentally challenged, would that make it okay to slaughter that human being?
Would it be okay to slaughter that human being? No.
So cerebral cortex is not the difference trait that makes it okay to slaughter a boar but not a human being. What is the different trait? Difference trait.
The different trait, again, the different trait is not just one particular thing.
Okay,
but
well,
the
we're
whole thing.
killing one after the other. So we killed societal norms, we killed a moral agent, and now we killed cerebral cortex. None of those reasons make it okay to slaughter a pig. Give me another reason.
This is where we use particularist ethics, though.
No. Let's not go into meta. Please give me why is it okay morally to slaughter a boar but not a baby?
Hang on. But your meta justifications are important.
No, I don't give a shit about meta. I'm asking you about your morality. The two of us can have different metas, but when I'm asking you about your morality, just give me a justification from your meta, from your point of view. So we don't have to go into meta for you to tell me what your applied ethic is. So please provide your applied ethic.
Look, my friend, look. Simply put, the reason I'm telling you particularly, right, this is why I'm a particularist, right?
I don't give a shit. No. Please answer my question. What is the morally relevant? No. Answer my question.
A pig and a kid with Down syndrome. I'm not going to shoot the kid with Down syndrome just because they both have a underdeveloped cerebral cortex.
So that's not the difference.
However,
what is the difference? What is the difference? That's not the difference. We already reached this conclusion. What is the trait difference?
Participate in society. The pig, right, in this case, is an invasive species in North America, right?
Okay, sure.
I mean, I have many reasons to shoot the pig.
Okay.
Not the kid with Down syndrome.
Okay, awesome. So if a bunch of kids with Down syndrome were invading the fields, you could stop them in a different way, right? Would you shoot the kids with Down syndrome because they're like invading your fields? Yes or no?
Probably not, right? Because
so that's not the trait difference, is it?
We can put the kids with Down syndrome back to school. However, stopping an invasive species is a lot harder than stopping a bunch of kids with Down syndrome.
Heard of fences? Ever heard of fences? Or
trait equalizer.
Have I ever heard of
trait equalizer. So let's say we could get
in particular burrow under fence posts, etc. I mean, they're pretty crafty creatures.
Yeah, it just seems like if the kids with Down syndrome, you couldn't actually like create barriers and you couldn't put them in schools. Would you just slaughter them?
Well, no, I did want to ask like a counter.
No. Please answer my question because we're going one by one.
Hang on.
All
We're
the reasons. No, please.
Discussion goes two ways.
No. Here we are asking why you are not vegan, so we're examining your morality. So for all the reasons that you gave, let me finish. So for all the reasons that you gave for slaughtering pigs but not slaughtering humans didn't pan out because when I trait equalized it to humans, you said, no, I wouldn't kill that human.
In philosophy, we don't have moral discussions in just a one-way street, right? Questions are there to clarify.
You can ask a clarifying question, but it seems that you just want to ask me meta questions, and I'm not gonna abide.
Well, no, I want to ask you a particular question, right?
Okay.
So, like earlier, we were going down the path, right? So essentially, you don't want to kill things based off intelligence, but if that's the case, why do you abort? Why would you be in favor of abortion in a sense?
So first of all, you're assuming that I am in favor of abortion, right? Wouldn't it first speak with the question, are you in favor of abortion, right?
Are you though?
Okay. So I see no moral problem aborting a fetus that isn't sentient. I do see a moral problem with aborting a fetus that is already sentient. But when it comes to choosing, and it's a hard choice, between a fully sentient woman who has to carry that fetus and for whatever reason cannot or refuses to, then I would choose the fully sentient woman and not the partially sentient fetus, because the fetuses gain the structures of sentience at 19 to 23 weeks. Most of the time, though, let me finish my answer, Jesus Christ. So most of the time, though, those fetuses aren't actually in a sentient state But even if they were, I would consider it a tragedy. But I would choose the fully fledged, already sentient person who had a lifetime of experiences, like not dying, not experiencing actual torture, than that fetus. That's my position.
Okay, so if that's the case, right, and I'm looked down upon in quite a few instances for evaluating intelligence or
no, I didn't evaluate any intelligence. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say intelligence is the issue.
Well, no,
did I?
You clarified what's the symmetry breaker between a kid with Down syndrome and a pig, right?
Yeah.
Basically, to break down, where I would choose a person with lesser intelligence versus the pig, right?
Well,
so,
that's not the point in question, though. Wait. That's not the symmetry, though. There, right? I'm not asking you if the only thing that you can choose from is either shoot a pig or a kid with Down syndrome. I would understand where you would say, "Well, I'll shoot a pig," but that's not the situation that we are putting. Hold on. We're not. Sorry? That's not the situation we are putting you in. We're asking you why you're shooting a pig. The kid with Down syndrome is only there to analogize instead of the pig. It's not there, you have to choose one. Right? That context is important. You're not killing the fucking pigs to save the children with Down syndrome.
I know I'm not, but
that's
that's
funny.
not what I said, right? I said you were asking me a symmetry breaker between the kid with Down syndrome and the pig, right? And I'm basically just trying to drill down, again, if intelligence isn't supposed to play a factor, why can't I treat Kale or a door as a moral agent?
Sorry?
Right?
Excuse me?
Or why value something without why would you value something
without sentience? I don't value something without sentience.
Well, I know you don't, right?
Yeah. So why would you value something without sentience?
To me, that doesn't become like a symmetry breaker because many people value things without sentience yet.
Well,
they're not. Hold on, they're not. It becomes a double homicide.
Yeah. Usually, there are some cringe people who would say, "Oh my God, plants are I don't know, if I had to choose between killing a rose or killing a dog, I literally don't know what I'm gonna do." But most people know that plants are not sentient, and they don't value plants for sentience. They might value, for its own, right? They might value plants for what it can do for sentient beings. For instance, I will be upset if you break my phone, not because I care about the phone itself. It's not sentient. It's because I spent money on it or whatever. So I, as a sentient being, am going to be upset if you break my fucking phone, right? So I'm not valuing the phone. Nobody values the actual non-sentient things for that being or for that thing. Correct. So sentience is the actual real symmetry breaker between what we should value for itself and what we shouldn't.
I mean, I kind of question that though, right?
Okay,
because if we can place a superficial, let's say, value on something like a phone or even plants.
Yeah, not for itself, for me, for the sentient being in that thing's life. Oh, not life.
I mean, but this boils down to something simple to me then, right? If in society or in many cases where people value non-sentient things, I mean, sentience isn't the only marker of moral worth.
It is.
In my opinion.
I mean, you shouldn't, hold on, if there is a phone that nobody owns, literally nobody, it's I don't know, just lying, just like a phone lying abandoned in the middle of a desert. And you sit there and wait for 2 weeks or a month for somebody to come back for it, right? Nobody comes back. Is it wrong to destroy that phone?
Is it wrong to destroy that phone? I mean, no one's coming for it.
There you go.
I guess why not?
Exactly. So you don't value the phone itself. You don't value the non-sentient thing. You value it only if some sentient being wants it. That's it.
Yeah, correct.
There you go. So sentience. So exactly. So sentience is the moral symmetry breaker.
No. Well, not necessarily.
Well, give me an example where it isn't.
Sentience produces value by having a subjective experience.
Exactly.
However, we're talking about what gives things value, right? And as a
No,
society,
what,
we
what,
choose
no,
that
no, no.
value.
What
So
makes,
society
no, 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 no,
chooses
no, wait.
not to sacrifice children.
No,
I mean,
that's not the question. You're strawmanning. So maybe not strawmanning, but like that's not the question. The question isn't what do we value. The question is what makes a thing, like a philosophical thing, morally relevant or not. Sentience is the symmetry breaker.
I just named it. No.
Yeah, I think it's sentience. Well, what's the problem with me making it sentience?
It's subjective experience. I mean,
yeah.
placing value on things or placing value on something. It's not necessarily sentience itself.
It is. It's the subjective experience is the sentience. Only sentient things. Only sentient things can have subjective experience. Something that can have. Go on.
If I ran a trolley problem on many people and put their family on the tracks, and then put 10 other people on the other side of the tracks, 9 times out of 10, I reckon, the person's going to pull the lever and save their family.
Yeah, sure. Why does that? Wait, why does that? Hold on. That's still a sentience that they value here. They just value some sentient beings more than others. If you make the trolley problem, I put a bunch of phones on one side, and I put like a dog that I don't know, like some dog, on the other track. Most people are gonna drive over the fucking phones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the symmetry breaker is sentience.
Yeah, but however, you realize though, in my example, one of the key markers here is sentience from particular people are valued more than others.
Sure, as right? I gave you the example, right? Wait, hold on. I gave you the example, and I beat the bullet for you, with you, right? If it was, oh my God, you have to shoot one, you have to, or the world ends. You have to shoot a wild boar, or like I don't know, some kind of a child, right? It doesn't matter if it's mentally challenged or not mentally challenged, the child. Let's make them actually like relatively the same, right? Yeah, so you have hold on. So in the question, right? In the question, we put 2 sentient beings in the same place. You can value one over the other, but sentience is still a symmetry breaker, because when you put a non-sentient thing, that thing doesn't even go into the moral consideration. If it's like cut a rose in half or cut a woman in half, you would say, yeah, obviously the more moral thing is to cut the rose in half, because it's not sentient. Even if the woman, you don't know her, you don't give a shit about her, it's from like a country that is at war with your country or something like that, right?
So if I stab a pregnant woman, right, technically under this moral system, it shouldn't count as homicide. It should just count as, battery or very violent assault or attempted murder.
Well, it depends on if the fetus is sentient. So, but I think,
it's not really sentient until the second trimester, maybe third.
It's 19 to 23 weeks. Yeah. So before that, it would be. Well, that is where it becomes a little murky, because I guess the woman would value that phone, for instance, right? Like the phone and the non-sentient fetus have generally probably the same moral value at the point, but to the woman it's has higher value or something. But I don't think it would be homicide.
No, is because the fetus may not be sentient yet, but it's valued just the same as a human.
Yeah, sure. Right? A human being can value something, right? But
and in the case, so that doesn't really make my symmetry breaker earlier that the boar is different from the kid with Down syndrome any different than let's say the fetus.
Well, you can say I value a mentally challenged child over the boar. That wouldn't be a good justification to kill the boar, because the boar is sentient.
I mean, the only difference here is the boar is not an actor in society.
So why does that matter? If sentinel people, is it okay? Matter? Sentinel people. Hold on, let me ask you a follow-up question. So sentinel people are not a factor in society. In fact, if you trying to come closer to them, they're gonna kill you. Is it okay to grab a bunch of them, right? If you successfully did it without being killed, and just start farming them or something like that, or just straight up just shooting them from the far? Is that okay?
I mean, in what way would it be relevant to the pig?
Well, because Sentinel people don't participate in society. And that's the trait that you gave me just now?
The Sentinel Island is protected by the Indian government.
Listen, I'm just like not understanding what not participating in society, why that trait makes it okay to slaughter somebody. Right? That's all I'm trying to understand. And when I put a human being in that position, you're flailing now, right?
Not really.
Are you going to say that it's okay to kill Sentinel people?
You're basically just asking me when is it okay to kill someone versus when it isn't.
Yeah.
And I can give you like that distinction. I mean, it's okay to kill a person in a time of war.
Yeah.
That's like the only time I can justify killing someone killing someone.
Yeah, in that context, it's justified. I'm just saying, why is it justified to kill a boar? Because it doesn't participate in society. Why non-participation in society? Why? Let me finish asking the question. Why non-participation? Yeah, because I'm just like...
You're naming just one trait. I mean, if
I'm not naming any fucking traits. I'm asking you, what is the trait that makes it morally relevant to kill a boar?
Hang on. I mean, that's just one thing about the Sentinel Island. Like, if I went up to the Sentinel Island right now, right, took out my, like, 45 Magnum, you know, aimed it at someone, and then, you know, popped the person on the Sentinel Island.
The way you do to boars,
maybe kind of like an act of war in their tribe, you know, or...
So that's the only reason it would be not okay. Hold on.
So that up to a person and randomly just shoot them.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's the only reason it would be not moral to kill Sentinel Island people because they would go to war with you.
Why don't you let him finish? I don't think he finished.
Well,
no,
they made the point.
It's a mix of like a bunch of things. Again, empathy for one, right?
Yeah. So why don't you have empathy for boars? Why don't you have empathy for boars? Why don't you have empathy for boars?
Why don't I have empathy for boar?
Yeah.
Because boar and person are different.
Okay.
They're different distinctions.
So what's the morally relevant difference that makes it okay to kill boars but not okay to kill humans?
I mean, I just named it. One's a human,
and then it fell apart when I asked you about Sentinel people.
Did it though?
Yeah, it did. Because you said you wouldn't kill Sentinel people.
I mean, you're just saying it did, but I don't think it did.
Well, would you kill Sentinel people because they don't participate in society?
I mean, that's just my preference. I would not kill a Sentinel
There you go. So it's not a morally justified reason to kill somebody.
That is kind of a morally justified reason. It's falling down to preference at that point.
Yeah. So you see, here's the problem, right? You can't even actually make
all moral choices are preferences, so just like as I've shown in the trolley problem.
Yeah, that's cool. So, but like, it's again, like the trolley problem is not applicable here because the trolley problem that we're presenting to you is not like put a pig on one side and put like a sentinel person on the other side. It's put a pig. Hold on. It's put a pig on one side and put nothing on the other side, and you're still running over the pig.
You're getting agitated for no reason.
Sorry, I'm not agitated. I'm fine. It's just like how I speak.
Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, what I'm trying to get at here, right, is that you kind of are, because we're naming a trait that the pigs have and the sentinel people have, right? And once you name that, I'm obviously going to refer back to my moral preference.
Yeah, but I'm not asking you.
That moral preference being the fact it's not a human, so that's going to be the symmetry breaker between these two things.
Okay, so what is about like when you say human? What do you mean, like genetics or like species? What do you mean?
Again, it has to encompass everything. I mean, how you can be slightly different and still be human. It doesn't really matter too much on that front.
Listen, I'm gonna present something to you, right? Is it gonna be here? No, give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen. If you want to open that. So this is not it. So give me a second. No, it's not gonna be here either. Shit. I'm always getting lost. Common arguments. No, it's gonna be in ethics. Ethical concepts. So, right here, right? Here's the question, right? The question is not like comparing, like for instance, in this case, like a cow, a sheep, or a fish to human beings, right? This is not what we are looking for. We are looking for, here's a human being, right? And then, like, imagine you are entering that human being into like some kind of a machine. And I'm asking you, what will this machine take away from a human being in the context of the same place where like those animals are in, right? So we're not going to change the context or if it's like attacking me or something like that. That's obviously a justified context to kill anybody. But like this human being enters this like machine, and this machine like removes traits, some kind of traits. What traits is this machine going to remove to make it okay to systematically slaughter those human beings for burgers or for steaks? In your
Brain.
case?
I mean, you're basically essentially changing the nature of the person, right? If you strip every trait.
Yep.
Let's say
That's
in
what
this
I'm asking
hypothetical,
you, though. What are the traits
it's
that
no longer
exist?
a human.
Yeah, brain. If it can, if it's no longer capable of our level of understanding.
Then it's gonna be okay. Oh, sorry. You don't have to mute.
I mean, technically, it's irreducible, right? Again, like there's going to be traits that are, you know, in one case, like again, you can't really know if it's human or less human. I mean, we ask this question all the times in transhumanism, right?
Well,
How
let
much
me
machine
ask
is
you a
it
question.
before the person's more machine than human?
Yeah, I think you like the people in here are not like understanding the actual question. So, even if one trait of a human being is removed, then you're saying it would be okay to slaughter them for steaks?
No, not really, because one
Okay.
trait doesn't make up a human being.
So that's what I'm asking. I'm asking for a trait or a list of traits that, if removed from a human being, would make it okay to slaughter them for burgers.
Are you willing to remove the CNS, memories, DNA structure?
I mean, sure, we removed cerebral cortex to equalize.
Standing.
Yeah, we removed the cerebral cortex earlier in the human being to equalize them mentally, intelligently to the pig. And you said, no, it wouldn't be okay to slaughter that human being. So that trait,
have to like.
so that trait is eliminated, right? That trait is no longer part of your stack of traits because it wouldn't make you kill that human being. So I'm looking for like at least like one trait that would actually cash out into you killing that human being, is who's not going to be human according to you anymore. So please tell me what trait you should remove from a human being to make it okay to slaughter a human being for burgers or steaks.
Like again, I said it's not just one trait. It's again going to be a cacophony of traits.
Okay, so but you gave me like a bunch of them and none of them panned out.
Like, let's say, like, you take that human, right? Like, I'll give you a quick example. You take that human, run him through the machine, take his entire brain out, only his brainstem is functioning, right? I mean, at that point, it might be morally permissible to kill him because now he's a fucking vegetable, right?
Well, do you mean like brain dead?
I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, specify take me off of life support if I become a vegetable.
Oh, sure. So, but like pigs are not like vegetables, right? They're not like brain dead. So brain dead can't be the trait because it doesn't exist such in a pig.
Well, again, like I stated before, there's more traits that pigs don't have.
Yeah, give me fucking one that would make it okay to kill a human being the way you kill pigs. Because so far none of them pan out, right? Again, we'll keep reiterating.
How about this? We take the human, we make him quadrupedal, add pig skin, right? I mean, there's going to be like a certain point, right? Even if we go back evolutionarily, it's going to be like, it's not just one trait. I mean, there's multiple traits that we're going to have to go by. Then eventually we get to human, right? So like it seemingly is irreducible to like what point I would consider it human and not human. Like, I don't know. It's like when a lot of people debate abortion before they consider the fetus, sentient or not sentient.
Wait, if you don't know the actual stack of traits that would make it okay for you to like slaughter human beings for burgers, shouldn't you fucking like stop slaughtering pigs for now until you do know what the trait difference between a pig and a human being that would make it okay to kill human beings the way you kill pigs? Surely you can recognize that you don't have like a good reason for it.
I mean, at this point, like I kind of like alluded to it earlier, but like the pig has no normative properties, or let's just say, in maybe this case,
Whoa, hold on, we went through that. Yeah, go on. You can interfere because I'm definitely not making sense here. So.
Under some type of deontologist view, we can just say like one of our principles, for like some other reason to give these animals value, right? To give this pig normative value, right? And then under some like virtue ethicist theory, like the pig can feel these like specific virtues, like having sentience or like having the necessary like neural networks and things like that, to like for them to fulfill these virtues, right? Like under all these like normative frameworks, these very popular ones, yes, a pig will have some type of normative value. If you're holding to some type of like idiosyncratic normative view, then you just need to provide the argument for it, right? And if you're an anti-realist, this will get worse for you, right? Because then this entire argument will just be like you debating this will be trivial. And I think if like you're like an anti-realist on morality, you should be a quietist when it comes to like when it comes to normative ethics, unless you're like some type of subjectivist.
Okay. So you're essentially like trying to get to the core of it and run the.
I just want to know under what normative ethic do pigs
You're
not have
basically running
normative value?
companions and guilt at the end of the day. Am I wrong?
Can you repeat that?
You're basically running companions and guilt essentially for me, because I am an anti-realist.
Well, yeah. Well, wait. What kind of anti-realist?
I'm a air theorist when it comes to.
Okay, this is all trivial then. Nothing. Okay, nothing has normative value to you because you're a normative nihilist.
Yeah, they're all false. Yeah,
wait, okay, so you realize. Well, okay, so you realize you should have bit every single bullet when VPM asked you, oh yeah, is it morally permissible to like slaughter another human being? That should have been an immediate yes from you. Is it morally permissible?
However, we're dealing
to throw
with
a baby off a cliff. That's amoral.
However, we're dealing
everything's
with,
gonna be amoral under your view because all of it's gonna be false. Like it's gonna just gonna trivially follow.
I can still have like attitudes towards normative things.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't care. Wait, why should anyone care about your attitudes?
Ontologically, they're false. I mean,
yeah, why should anyone care about your attitudes, Felix?
I mean, that's a good question.
I'm gonna unmute you both again, and then I'm gonna unmute you both again, and then I'm gonna leave the channel. This is not a fucking philosophy channel. This is a channel where we talk about veganism. So if you want to talk philosophy, fuck off somewhere else to do it.
Yeah, I'll just add right to that. This is about applied ethics, right? And veganism is an applied ethics. We're not talking about like meta or anything like that, right?
By the way, applied ethics is like still philosophical, but
yeah.
If you don't want to talk about philosophy, that's
I mean,
I can like merely stick to the normative stuff.
Oh,
I was just like making a
fine,
point, but obviously VPN. My issue with you isn't with the veganism. I think the fact that you say that like non-sentient entities don't have moral worth seems to be quite ridiculous. Because I value things like I morally value things like nature, right? I morally value things like Mount Everest. And
you didn't give the inference though.
Well, that's not what I
already
said.
have, right?
I didn't say that you
didn't.
can't morally value like nature, whatever that means. I'm just saying you value it. Yeah. I'm just saying you value it for the sentient beings in nature, not for the nature itself as a concept. If you do, it's kind of cringe position.
Didn't you say that like things without sentience don't have moral worth?
No, they don't have moral worth to themselves, to the thing itself. They have obviously moral worth to like the sentient beings, right? My phone has moral worth because I own it, I need it. So you can't smash my phone, but a phone in a desert that nobody comes back for, nobody claims ownership of that phone is not morally worthy at all, and you can smash it.
Well,
you do whatever the fuck
you want with it. There's gonna be a distinction between like a phone and between like Mount Everest, right? I don't even think the distinction. I think the distinction is once man-made. I don't even think is like how much we value it, because I think that these things would actually like be objectively, like they would like be like objectively, like there would still be like some type of moral obligation to them. If even though human exists, I think like the other animals would have like obligations towards like things like nature too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why. You might like find like Mount Everest like pretty or something, or like some kind of a symbol for something.
Like it's not only.
That's not like a moral consideration. That's like aesthetic consideration.
Well, yeah, but that's not like the only reason, right? Because I like.
What would be the moral consideration of Mount Everest?
Like it provides like nature for other entities. It provides homes.
Yeah,
for, like,
exactly.
other
It provides
entities.
home to sentient beings
Yeah,
in
but
it.
again,
So it's
and
worth
again,
for sentient beings. That's exactly my point, though.
and
Mount
the fact-
Everest.
but here's the
Wait,
thing,
hold on. Just let me explain. Mount Everest on its own is not morally worthy. It's only morally worthy because other sentient beings live in it, and it's important to those sentient beings. That's exactly my
Well,
point. So you can't
here's
value
the thing.
Mount
This is
Everest in a
gonna be
vacuum,
like-
right? Do you
Yeah, well,
do you
well,
value
here's the thing
Mount
about
Sen?
that, right?
Do
well,
you
we're gonna
value?
have- we're-
No, please. Do you
Yeah.
value Mount Everest in a vacuum?
yeah, I would still value it in a vacuum.
Why?
Because the moral fact's gonna be there,
Why?
right?
What
Because
are those?
I think
Moral fact.
yeah, well,
Bruh.
yeah, because
This
the
is so
moral like
dumb.
if there exists a moral fact, it's gonna be there like objectively every time. That's why it's so gonna be there, right? But obviously the way
Wait.
my ethics work-
No. I don't understand why, actually. What are the traits of Mount Everest that you would like actually value in a vacuum? Like it's devoid, no sentient beings in it,
I
right?
would value, I would value
Why?
like the moral fact that we ought to take care of nature, right? I would
No,
value
no.
that
I'm
fact.
asking you specifically about Mount Everest
Yeah,
in a vacuum, please.
I'm telling you the part that I value, right? Obviously, like having moral worth is gonna be a property, it's gonna be a predicate. don't know
What
what other
what
descriptors you
are
want
the
me to
traits of
give.
Mount Everest that you would value in a fucking vacuum?
I just told you the trait. I literally
What
just
is
told you
it?
the trait. The moral fact that we ought to take care of nature. Mount Everest would still be a part of nature.
Why? No, hold on. That's not in a fucking vacuum. I'm asking you about a Mount
wait,
Everest
again,
in
I
a
hope-
vacuum.
Yeah, in a vacuum, it would still be a part of some nature, right? The set of nature.
No,
would just
it's
be
literally
one
not
though.
because it's in a fucking
Yes,
vacuum.
It literally would.
No, I'm literally saying Mount Everest, the dirt, without
I
any
know what a
hold
vacuum
on,
is.
hold on, without any sentient beings in it, and without the
I
nature
know.
part, Mount Everest in a vacuum. Why would you value that?
Yeah, I told you because of the moral fact that we ought to take care of Mount Everest because we ought to take care of nature, right? Nature isn't
No,
only
that's-
animals.
That's
Right.
it
I
just
don't know what-
sounds
Should
like
we accept that moral? Why
Jesus
should we
Christ.
accept that normative proposition?
Well, I don't know why you ought like accept it normatively, right?
But you
Because usually,
said, yeah, but you said it was like a normative fact, right? So
yeah, I mean, in this possible, right? In this possible, I believe we can only have like normative facts when it comes to sentience, right? And like moral facts are going to be distinct from those.
well,
right? 'Cause
then
the thing,
there you go.
normative
We're
fact-
talking about
wait,
normative. We
can I
don't give a
explain?
shit
Can I
about
explain?
meta.
Can I
Let's
explain? Please
move on to
explain.
let's move on to
Like,
veganism. I don't
I
care.
just got halfway
I
through
don't
my
care.
sentence,
Let's move on to
and, like, you
veganism. I don't
interrupted
care.
me. That's
I
not
don't
good
care.
faith at all.
No,
Right,
stop.
Can we please be kind?
No.
Yeah,
No.
so
Let's
I
stop.
think normative facts have like reasons behind them, but I think moral facts, like they don't have reasons behind them, right? Because again, the way I kind of hold to
you're
ethics is
saying it
that
bottoms
first
out.
we have the moral fact, and then from that we give reasons to like why we hold the moral fact. Because I think we know the moral facts by our perceptions about the moral facts.
It just sounds like, oh, I like Mount Everest, so let's like fucking value it.
But
or
you're
something.
I think you're begging the question though, like the moral facts.
Wait,
Can we move on,
wait,
though?